Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It's Monday, March 1st. I'm Jeff here with my friend Stephanie, and that's Big Al down there.
I know. Where you been?
I don't know. I feel like every time I get here, I'm lucky. I get to be with my people. So let's do this more often.
I love it when you're with us. It's lovely.
Thank you. I'm digging the hair.
Now we have two fashion experts for this very special
I know.
band.
I've got a competition.
Al Fashion Jackson
I'm
joining the
leaning
panel.
on Steph. This is her night.
All right, here we go. Here we go, guys. Last night's Golden Globe Award show was mostly virtual, with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler hosting from different coasts, LA and New York, and the rooms were full of first responders instead of celebrities. Now, most of the stars appeared remotely on video, which seemed to be plagued by glitches for most of the evening. So how do you think the Globes did with the virtual aspect of it all? Did they pull it off, Steph, in your mind?
I thought they did. Okay, I'm in two minds. One, I thought the way they put it all together, I thought Tina and Amy did a fantastic job. Their hosting skills, I thought, for the fourth time were fantastic. I thought, you know, with the screen and everything, how they did it, it looked like they were in the same room. I was impressed. The glitches, killed me at the start.
Yeah, it's tough.
It was very tough, but also they've had over a year to prepare for this moment. Why have they not learned from MTV Music Awards? Or, you know, there are so many other people like that have done this flawlessly.
Because we got the best in the business up there, Sharon, so they couldn't.
I was going to say, we do this flawlessly. Like, honestly, when we first started shooting from home, we were about a year and a half into Corona, my internet was slow. I went and got faster internet. Like, there are things that you learn over the course of time, and it just seems like they didn't learn all those lessons.
I think they had so many Zoom calls coming in and out and going, I don't know anything really about that world, but I'm sure it's very technical.
There you go.
You like that? I'm sure it's very technical and difficult to deal with, but I thought they did a good job overall. I thought the jokes could have landed a little better with Tina, but the way they work together is like seamless. You know what I mean? So even if they're on different coasts, it looks like they're in the same room.
One's in New York and one's in LA, and I thought, to say that they're not in the same room together, the timing, I thought it was really good. I was impressed.
Listen, I appreciate it. How about that? I appreciate that they put on a show. So now, if you don't know, the Golden Globes are chosen by members of the Hollywood Foreign Press, and it turns out there are no black members. If you watch the show, you definitely know. And there haven't been for 2 decades. This controversy became a reoccurring theme as multiple presenters roasted the Globes for its lack of diversity. Here's a few examples.
The Golden Globes are awards given out by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association.
The Hollywood Foreign Press Association is made up of around 90 international no-black journalists who attend movie junkets each year in search of a better life.
Thank you to the all-white Hollywood Foreign Press.
Thank you. It is great to be black at the Golden Globes.
Absolutely.
Back at the Golden Globes. Yeah.
You know what, SK? It is great to be back anywhere.
Amen. Amen.
Anywhere.
So members of the Hollywood Foreign Press did address the issue on the show, saying they are committed to adding black members and people from underrepresented backgrounds. But the question remains, how do you feel about this controversy and how it was represented, or how was it repeatedly called out by some of the people that were accepting their awards last night on the show? Do you think it was well placed, Al?
I think it needed to be said.
Yeah.
I think that the jokes, I got it the first 2 times, but I'm glad that they had the stance they did. It's so interesting how we talk about diversity like it's this thing that has to be implemented, and there's, you know, let's just do it, get it over with. Look at this studio, Jeff. Look at, we are as diverse a bunch, non-corona, that you could ever have in the room, and we flow seamlessly. We all come from different worlds with different perspectives. Steph has a different perspective on our politics. And it's so important to have diversity because it makes it, look at the NBA. Yao Ming brought in the China market. There's so many, and he was a famous star here in America. It brings the level of the league up. It brings the level of your competition up. It's just better for everybody, Steph.
No, I completely agree with what Al said. And I like you said, I think I felt when they addressed it. So at the start of the show, they posted an Instagram post and from the Hollywood Press Association, and they said, oh, we're gonna address this, and we've got 87 members, and 0 of them are black, and we're gonna not only just encourage black people to join, we encourage many different cultures to join. We want it to be as diverse as possible, which is all lovely, but also again, they've had so much time previously to like work on this. I mean, this movement has been in place for a long time, and it's just like, still it comes to the event and a bit of an Instagram post and a 2-minute little speech on the stage. So I understand, and I think a lot of stars like Tiffany Haddish, who was giving an award, she posted about it before she even went on the stage. So she didn't necessarily take to the big platform of saying it out loud in front of everyone, but she definitely made her voice known, as did some of the celebrities we've just seen too.
Yeah, I think just to mirror what you said, Al, diversity is so important. I think some people are scared of diversity because they don't know. They might not know somebody that's black or from a foreign country. They don't know that. Like, some people are like, if they're like Yao Ming and they're a basketball fan, that's the only way they know about like China and their culture and things like that, is when they do those little packages on that when they show them in NBA. So I think representation is important, obviously, in that aspect of everything.
That's right.
All right, guys, now to an emotional moment. Last night, the late Chadwick Boseman won the award for Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama for the final role he played before his death in the movie Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Now, Chadwick's widow tearfully accepted the award on his behalf. Take a look.
He would thank God. He would thank his parents. He would thank his ancestors for their guidance and their sacrifices. And I don't have his words. And hon, you keep them coming.
And Chadwick died in August of last year after a private battle with colon cancer 3 months before the movie was released. That was rough to watch yesterday, and for some reason, I didn't even think of her on camera crying. I thought about her that whole night, how emotional she was, knowing that he was going to win an award, knowing she had to go on camera, knowing that she was by herself. That had to be a very emotional night for her, not just that part that we saw on camera.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she handled it with such dignity and grace, and I'm sure Chadwick would have been looking down just... Oh, it was honestly, it really moved me. And when we did an Instagram live last night with Daily Blast Live audience on YouTube and Twitter, and everyone was so taken aback and felt so much love for her. And oh my gosh, I can't imagine how difficult, like you said, it must have been waiting for that moment and to try and get those words out and to accept that. And like the words she used as well, saying how he would have thanked his ancestors for their guidance. I just thought, oh.
Think about just getting dressed to do that.
Can you imagine? I can't even put myself in those shoes. I mean,
strong woman.
Wow, what a woman, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, guys, let's talk about some of the other big winners from the Golden Globes last night. No Man Land won Best Movie in the Drama category. The director of the film, Chloe Zhao, became the second woman ever to win Best Director. There she is right there. Borat 2 won Best Movie in the Comedy or Musical category with Sacha Baron Cohen winning Best Actor in a Comedy for that same movie. And Andra Day won Best Actress in a Drama for her portrayal of Billie Holiday and was the first black actress to win in this category in 35 years. Now, Netflix, The Crown, Steph, also won big, taking home 4 big ones yesterday.
So that means Steph won too.
In essence.
That's your show, right?
I was thrilled. No, they won everything, and they won the Best Actress and Best Actor, and I was torn when it came to the Best TV series though, because they were up with some other great ones. They were up against Ozark, they were up against Lovecraft Country, which was fantastic. They were up against Ratchet, you know. There were so many amazing competitions. And I'd seen all of the series actually for once, and I was like, oh, any of these could win. The Crown took it. So for all the lovely haters that send me lots of messages saying no one cares about the royals, you all clearly do.
I kind of get mad, Al. I don't know about you, but you know when you have your favorite shows, like Ozark is one of my favorite shows, for example.
Fantastic.
And then they don't win, you're like, what? What's that show? And then you get all mad about it.
But then don't you get happy? Because if they lose, they're like, well, now I got to check that show out. So I always look at it like, say what you want. There's a lot to complain about. We're in the golden age of television where there's so many shows that are good that if Jeff tells me or you tell me to watch this series, I'm like, I'm 2 series behind that. Maybe 2022 I'll get to it. There's so many good shows.
But I think people at home were more invested this year, even though it was all virtual and things like that, because they watched the most TV than they have in a long time, right? There was multiple shows that were up for awards that I binge watched, and I was like, oh my God, let's go with The Undoing.
Definitely.
I don't think they took home 1 award.
No, I saw he was up there.
The Crown just swept it, Steph.
The Crown was fantastic. I tell you what, I just feel as though television has just stepped it up another notch. TV series, they're better than most motion pictures these days.
You're telling me.
Yeah. That
was supposed to be me, like.
Got it.
Coming up on DBL, we're not done talking about the Golden Globes just yet. Stephanie has a rundown of the styles and looks we're all talking about. Al's going to counter those.
I'm ready.
See if you agree with her picks. And we're getting our first look at the huge interview Oprah has with Harry and Meghan. It's no holds barred.
Smiling through the pain. It's something Lexi Bader does on a daily basis. We first introduced you to Lexi last year, a successful young model with a debilitating disease.
We're happy to have you back. I know that there's a lot going on, so you have definitely been an inspiration for our audience, and we just want to reconnect with you.
Yeah, I can't wait. Sorry. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here too.
All right, girlfriend. Okay, we're almost ready. I'm gonna count us down, and don't be nervous. You got this. You've already come in. We've already done this. All right, you ready, girl?
I am.
DBL is all new every day.
Don't look at me like with that face, because I'm telling you how I feel.
I'm not buying his story.
I'm already fired up.
Yeah.
Good.
Still in
People
Congress.
out there watching who are appalled.
Well, you acted like I just said something crazy.
I'm so far like in my head, I don't even know what's
Leave
going
Jeff
on.
alone. No, I'm just being honest. He's trying to get clout.
I'm gonna wear a 10-gallon hat.
Lucy would have been all over you, honey.
Hey.
Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year.
DBL, some stars got glammed up for the Golden Globes last night, even though most of them were watching from home. So, Steph, you're our fashion expert. What did you think of the at-home style at the Golden Globes?
Okay, well, Jeff, on the fashion front, it was truly a mixed bag, that is for sure. So the Queen's Gambit star, Anya Taylor-Joy, looked absolutely regal in this low-cut emerald green dress. The dress was by Dior, and it took workers 300 hours to make. Isn't that a lot? It's crazy. And Regina King's dress was also a labor of love. This fabulous cutout style took 350 hours to make, and it was covered with 40,000 tiny sparkles and crystals. And now this one, a little controversial. Oh, Cynthia Erivo's lime green dress. I was not a fan at all. I mean, what are those pleather gloves that she was wearing? Did not like that. And the men were also a hit and miss. So I love Jared Leto. He was on my best dress list. I think that flower lapel was the star of his outfit. But I've got to wag my finger at Bill Murray, Jeff Daniels, and especially Jason Sudeikis, who looked frumpy. Come on, guys, it's the Golden Globes. Dress up. I mean, Jason's mustache and that hoodie. I'm sorry, but they're a big no from me. What did you guys think of the fashion? I know that's obviously what you both just care about, right?
Listen, I think the bigger the star, the more you could be more outgoing with your wardrobe, right? So like Cynthia Erivo, she's amazing talent. You could wear whatever you want, in my mind, if you're that good.
No, sorry. That was meant to be Valentino Couture, and it looked like one of those dolls that you put on top of your toilet roll. It looked like it should be covering the bug roll cover, not going to the Golden Globes.
Does talent mean nothing, like when you're dressing up? Like, do you think you'd be a little bit more adventurous?
And Steph, help me out with this. What's the name of the event where people dress crazy? Is that the
Met Gala?
The Met Gala. I feel like there's a place for those outfits, and there's a place for kind of traditional. And I kind of want to see the really cool suits and the super designer dresses, and I'm sorry, Steph, I wasn't even feeling the big flower. I'm sorry, I wasn't digging the Jared Leto.
Fair play, it's not for everyone, but with those tousled locks and the casual nudie beige suit, he looked like a 70s dream. I'm here for it.
I don't want casual.
Appreciate
I want you to dress up for my entertainment tonight.
He's a hippie god. I'll take it all day long. I love it. But Jason Sudeikis, what was that? He may be going through a divorce and having a hard time, but it's the Golden Globes. Pick up a razor and shave your face.
I'm with Team Steph on that one. You can't show up looking like that. He looked like he just got done egging houses.
Not good.
Listen, I'm not a fan of the mustache either. You win on that one, Steph. Great job. Coming up on DBL, a first look at Oprah's big interview with Harry and Meghan. Will it live up to all the hype? That's what I'm wondering. We're going to talk about it next.
We all know that movement is like...
The origins of Women's History Month are traced back to a school teacher in Sonoma County, California in the 1970s. When she noticed there were not a lot of women in her students' history books, she set out to change that. In 1978, she helped to create a Women's History Week for the district, and that idea spread. Districts across the country started copying the curriculum and using the week to teach students about unsung female heroes. Eventually, word of what those school teachers were doing reached the White House. In February 1980, President Jimmy Carter called the original teacher from Sonoma, Molly Murphy McGregor, to tell her he was proclaiming the week of March 8th National Women's History Week. In the years that followed, President Reagan followed suit, issuing an annual proclamation designating Women's History Week. It took a few more years for women to get an entire month devoted to their contributions. The Women's National History Project lobbied Congress for a longer holiday, and in 1987 they passed a proclamation establishing Women's History Month.
Welcome back to DBL. We're getting a first look at Oprah's sit-down interview with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. And the talk show queen, well, she doesn't hold back on the drama. Let's watch.
There is no subject that's off limits. Almost unsurvivable. Sounds like there was a breaking point.
My biggest concern was history repeating itself.
You've said some pretty shocking things here. Wait, hold up, wait a minute.
And the interview will air on CBS this Sunday. And in another clip, Harry gets candid about his experience with the British media. Let's have a look at that.
You know, for me, I'm just really relieved and happy to be sitting here talking to you with my wife by my side. Because I can't begin to imagine what it must have been like for her going through this process by herself all those years ago, because it has been unbelievably tough for the two of us, but at least we had each other.
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't a fan of like what's going on with Harry and Meghan. I didn't really care. As we build up to this moment, I'm excited about this interview.
Yeah.
You know what it makes me realize? Obviously, I'm thrilled for the story, but the power of music. Like, so in the first one, it's like, and it's like so dramatic. It's like, what are they going to say? We already know the story inside out. We've heard it a million times, but what could be new? And then the next time, it's like, oh, but will my wife survive? I don't know. We have each other. I mean, they did a good job of that editing of what is a lot of news that we already pretty much know.
So do you think there's going to be things in there that even you don't know, Steph?
I think it'll just be a bit more honest, because I think obviously due to like the restrictions of the royal family and how they've grown up in that, well, Harry's grown up in that environment and with his mother. I mean, I think he'll probably be a bit more open, a bit more honest maybe, but I'm not expecting a massive bombshell of something I have no idea about.
There's an article out in the Daily Mail that one of the producers sent over, and they were saying that they're painting the Queen kind of like Don Corleone, like the mob boss, and she's controlling them, and they have a real problem with that.
Has no one seen The Crown?
No.
Is this the reason? Literally, it's taken home all of the awards last night, and people seem shocked by this. I've been saying it to you guys for months. Watch The Crown and you'll understand. Watch The Crown, you'll see how the hierarchy works. Watch The Crown and you'll understand the reasons why they've left and the reasons why the Queen, you know, has to do what she does and the sacrifices she makes for her family, which basically includes ruining everyone's life.
So do you think she's in the wrong or right, or she's doing her job?
She's doing her job. She's doing her job, but you know, not everyone is cut out for that.
So
and
maybe the Queen is like Tony Soprano, where it's like they're not all good and not all bad. She's got basically an empire to run, and you can't be everybody's friend when you do that. But at the same time, you can't be mad at Harry and Meghan for being like, I don't want any part of this, especially since I saw my mom go out in the exact same way that my wife is being set up, like literally being hounded every second of the day.
He just saved you like multiple series and multiple hours of watching.
Exactly. Why couldn't you just wrap it up in a synopsis? I don't want to watch the whole thing. I want the Cliff Notes. I'm a Cliff Note guy. I don't read the book, just the Cliff Notes.
My man.
All right. We have an update on Lady Gaga's dogs. They have been safely returned. After they were stolen and after her dog walker was shot last week. I'm joking, but that was serious. A woman who is believed to be uninvolved with the dog napping returned the dogs to LA police on Friday. The LAPD isn't saying who she is or where she found the dogs because, remember, there was no questions asked. But according to the LA Times, the woman found them tied to a pole. Lady Gaga had offered a $500,000 reward for their safe return. Meantime, her dog walker Ryan Fisher posted an update from his hospital bed. He thanked his family, hospital staff, and first responders for saving his life and praised Lady Gaga for her support. He's expected to make a full recovery. There we go. What's that look for? Aren't you happy?
I mean, I'm happy she's got her dogs back, sure, but this is so suspect to me.
Give it to us. What's going on?
I just am like, what? So they just tied the dogs to a post and left them, and then some random woman who is slightly older happens to find them and knows who Lady Gaga is and exactly what the dogs look like and happens to know the exact email address to. It's a bit. I don't.
Say you're a grab and snatch thief type of guy, right?
Yeah.
And these people shot someone. The press coverage that went on, we talked about this for 3 days in a row, is everywhere. Everyone's looking for you. Now you're about to go to jail for attempted murder, not just robbery. You're getting rid of those dogs. You're putting them somewhere, and you're trying to wash your hands of this situation.
You think so?
That's my opinion.
I like I said, I always think about it like it's a sad situation, but when Michael Jordan's father was shot, and everybody had a ton of conspiracy theories, and what it boiled down to was two criminals with a gun that saw an older gentleman sleeping in a red Porsche, and they killed him for no reason. And it's hard for us to wrap our brains around it, so we're like, maybe there was a cabal and there are people involved, and it's like sometimes people are just violent criminals, and we're not like that, so it's hard for us to, most people aren't like that, so they have to make up a story that's more plausible than just, sometimes they're just people that just shoot people for two dogs.
Yeah, they're just bad people. But I'm with you, Steph. I want more to the story.
Yeah, I want to know more.
I don't get the woman part of it. I feel you, Steph.
There's like no cameras, no nothing. She just finds them and happens to know they're Lady Gaga's dogs.
What are you
of all the dogs in the world.
What are you going to do? We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
It's the first single-dose vaccine and the first non-mRNA vaccine in the US. AstraZeneca's vaccine, which is not yet approved, would also take this approach. So let's verify how these new vaccines will work. Here are sources. Two experts in molecular sciences from Johns Hopkins University. Dr. Namandje Bumpus, the director of the Department of Pharmacology and Molecular Sciences, and Dr. William Moss, professor of epidemiology and immunology. First, let's talk about the mRNA vaccine. mRNA is a kind of genetic instruction manual. It uses an oily shell to enter the cell. That mRNA contains instructions that tell your cells how to build the signature spike protein on SARS-CoV-2, which is the virus that causes COVID-19. That spike protein helps your body to build up a resistance to the virus without ever being actually infected. Meanwhile, AstraZeneca and Johnson & Johnson are developing a DNA-based vaccine called an adenovirus vector vaccine. And Dr. Moss made it very clear that while it uses virus DNA, these vaccines do not alter your human DNA. Here's how that vaccine works. They use an adenovirus to enter your cells. That's a harmless host virus that contains a DNA strand with instructions to make the spike protein that we talked about earlier. Your cell then translates that DNA strand into mRNA. And from there, it's the same as the mRNA vaccines. Your cells use that mRNA to make the spike protein and show it to your immune system. By building the spike protein and training your immune system to fight it, your body's ready to fight off the real virus if you come in contact with it. And our experts say that adenovirus host makes a huge difference for worldwide distribution. Here's why. mRNA is heat sensitive. The Pfizer vaccine needs to be stored at extreme freezing temperatures, -94 degrees Fahrenheit. But adenovirus vector vaccines can stay in a normal refrigerator between 35 and 46 degrees Fahrenheit, which our experts say will make distribution and storage much easier. With your Verify, I'm Evan Kozloff.
DBL is all new every day.
Don't look at me like with that face, because I'm telling you how I feel.
I'm not buying his story. No, I'm just being honest. He's trying to get clout.
I'm going to wear a 10-gallon hat.
Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year.
Welcome back to DBL. We have some comments regarding the Golden Globes. Faith from Facebook wrote in and said, I turned it off. I'm in Zoom meetings all day. That's not my idea of entertainment. How else would you want them to do that? Leslie said from Facebook said, it was okay. And Cassandra from Facebook said, I missed it. I was watching Netflix, so mad. And Betty said, it's weird that the Golden Globes just let this become a thing and didn't address its lack of diversity before being called out for it. So I think they have been called out for a couple of years now. So if we remember, Oscars So White was 2016.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and
They've
it
had a
seemed
half
like
a decade.
It seemed like it was very
That's
diverse.
what I was trying to say earlier. I'm like, they've had so long to address this, and then they put out an Instagram post, and apparently that's all they need.
We'll see.
I wonder what the
Pressure.
numbers were. I enjoyed. All right, guys, DBL's new every day. Al Jackson, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.